Hi guys, today I'm going to review the wonderful Sky Circus by Peter Bunzl, the third book in his amazing Cogheart adventure series. I was fortunate enough to be sent Sky Circus by Osborne Publishing early. I probably got the book I got it last Friday, so I got it 7 days ago, basically 8 days ago. And it was a bit of a surprise. It came through the post to my school. I had no forewarning that I was going to get the book. But the minute it did, I was really excited. I got it as a pre-release copy, and as somebody who's a huge fan of the Cogheart series, I was extremely pleased and very flattered to receive it. It coincided with me having just finished The Emergency Zoo by Miriam Halami, so I managed to start it last Saturday and finished it just last evening. This book is fantastic. In true Peter Bunzl style, he mixes incredible description, amazing description really. He has the knack of being able to build and explain things in such amazing detail that you've got such a deep picture of everything in your head. But he does it in a way that's truly engaging. I mean, I'd say this story took 100 pages to really get going, but at no point was I bored. I was loving it, absolutely loving it. This book, much like Cogheart and much like Moonlocket, follows the adventures of Lily, Malkin and Robert. They find themselves in another sort of trouble-filled adventure where they're going to have to use their ingenuity, teamwork, moral compass and all the skills that they've learnt along the way to try and outwit others and essentially find themselves a safe place to sort of overcome adversity. Now this book, as you can probably guess, Sky Circus, this book, and I'm going to try not to give too much away, this book revolves around Malkin, Robert and Lily being sort of captured by a travelling circus. They are captured because Lily's Cogheart is something that they think would draw in the crowds, something that they think would draw in the crowds and make a lot of money. So the two people that are running the circus, they've captured Lily. They didn't really want to capture Robert and Malkin, but they've sort of ended up involved in all this as well. Lily is meant to be the big draw for this circus, and she finds herself interacting with other hybrids. There's a big divide amongst the circus staff between hybrids and humans, and these hybrids are seen as freaks. There's a huge divide in terms of how they see each other, whether they communicate with each other, and that divide gets me thinking about how we could perhaps discuss this book with our children and talk about how differences don't need to divide people, how we can unite as one despite how we might look, where we might be from, what our genetic makeup might be. We follow the travelling Sky Circus for a good chunk of this book, where Robert, Lily and Malkin are kept prisoner. We've got some evil characters with very ulterior and quite dastardly motives who, as I say, Lily, Robert and Malkin have to outwit along the way. We meet characters from previous books. We meet Lily's father, we meet Tolly, we meet Anna, we meet some characters from book one as well, Cogheart, that you may well have forgotten about in Moonlocket and along the way. We also get some interesting interactions with Lily's mother. Lily's mother is dead, and if you remember closely and correctly, Lily's mother died. Essentially, there's a choice for Lily's father as to who to give the Cogheart to, and he gave it to Lily over her mother. So Lily's mother is long dead, but we find out a little bit more about her in this book through her diary entries, through her interactions with some of the characters that we meet in Sky Circus. It was a book that is penned as the last in the Cogheart series. The way it's ended does leave it open. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a closed book. It does round the series off very nicely, but if Peter Bunzl did choose to write a fourth book, I could see where it could go, and I could see how there would definitely be potential for him to build upon this story and give us another amazing adventure with the characters we've sort of known to love. In terms of how this book might be used in a classroom, we've obviously got, as I say, strong PSHE aspects of sort of overcoming differences, not judging people about how they look, where they might be from. We've got that sort of the aspect of Lily having lost her mother, the sort of bereaving that she's going through there, how she's sort of connecting with her dead mother throughout this book. We've got the same with Robert and his father, who has died in one of the previous books in Cogheart. So we've certainly got that sort of grieving child, or sort of child who is trying to come to terms with no longer having a parent. So that's something that plays strongly throughout this book. But as I say, there's themes of friendship, themes of leadership, strong themes of females not being pigeonholed as people who have to fit a certain stereotype. There's brilliant work done by Peter Bunzl, making this wonderful character of Lily, who is an inventor. She's quite tomboyish. She's able to sort of smash down stereotypes of what girls should be like in that day and age. She's able to use her mind to overcome things, and that's wonderful to see. We've also got the sort of rich-poor divide addressed here. We've got Lily, who's quite fortunate, but we've got characters like Tolly, who are less wealthy, have had a different sort of path in life, but it's lovely to see how they interact and see each other as equals along the way. So there's regular mentions of science, regular mentions of engineering, and all of those sort of things play very well and obviously help the whole role model vibe. It's also just a brilliant book to look at from a vocabulary perspective. In terms of English and sort of writing in primary school and well beyond primary school, I could have taken a extract from every page and picked it apart. It was absolutely stunning, the vocabulary Peter Bunzl was choosing. He has an absolute knack of finding words that I haven't connected with for years, but words that got me thinking, I do know what that means, but I've got to really think about it. And that is so powerful. He stuck a lovely sort of glossary, or was it a glossary he called it in the back? Let's just find a look for you. A dictionary of curious words, he called it, with words such as automaton, funambulist, hybrid, Lovelace, mechanical, perpetual motion machine, roustabouts. So he exposes us to amazing vocabulary, which only makes this story richer and richer. There's also the fact it's based in sort of Victorian Britain. Obviously, there's some poetic license used in terms of sky ships and stuff that might not quite have happened, but there are some brilliant references to London and Paris and the world as it was back then, and as much of it is still today. So a brilliant book, and I'm just so sad this series is over, and maybe it isn't. I hope it isn't. We'll see. But so grateful to Osborne Publishing for giving me an advance copy. I'm so pleased to have read it, and I would urge anyone to get on this Cogheart series if you haven't already, because it is truly fantastic. So that was Sky Circus by Peter Bunzl. Next book I've moved on to is a slightly lighter read, but a very fun read all the same. It's The Boy Who Lived with Dragons by Andy Shepherd. I enjoyed, as you might see on the back, The Boy Who Grew Dragons, her first offering. That was a really nice read that's slipped brilliantly into my Year 4 classroom, and I'm hoping this does something quite similar. So really hope you've enjoyed this video. I could talk all day about Peter Bunzl's writing, but I've got to stop there. If you liked the video, please do give it a thumbs up, and I'd love it if you could hit subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel. Cheers, guys.